Sir Richard Branson is one of the most famous entrepreneurs living in the world today and sits behind the multinational venture conglomerate Virgin Group. Today we're going to be talking about Richard Branson's most controversial moment, so make sure to stick around so you don't miss this. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Number 1, first up is Richard Branson's support of SeaWorld. Richard Branson has been criticized by different campaigns from the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, WDC, a global charity that focuses on the conservation and the protection of these cetaceans. The reason he's been criticized is for selling and profiting from organizing trips to SeaWorld and other theme parks that hold dolphins, whales, and other sea life using Virgin. The campaign from the WDC was part of a larger one targeting other kinds of tourism holiday companies, generally asking that they stop working with parks like SeaWorld. In response to the campaign, Richard Branson said that, "I've instructed Virgin Holidays not to deal with any organizations that do not pledge that they will never again take cetaceans from the sea. We hope other holiday companies will follow suit, since I believe that animals bred in captivity cannot safely be released. We will examine what's best to do with this issue and others in the engagement process." Later on Richard Branson's blog, he would also write that, "I believe no dolphins or whales should ever again be killed by humans or taken from the ocean for marine-themed parks." Number 2, we have Richard Branson's accusation of sexual assault. In 2017, the singer Antonia Janae, a backing singer for the British singer Joss Stone, claimed that Richard Branson had sexually assaulted her at Necker Island. She claims that Branson had put his head between her cleavage and made boat engine noises. This practice is also more known as motorboating. But this is when it's practiced consensually, which Antonio Janae does not describe it as. A spokesperson for Richard Branson told The Sun, a British tabloid newspaper, that the band had been invited to a party on the island in 2010, but that Richard Branson and his friends and family had no recollection of these events. They additionally write that there would never have been any intention to offend or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Richard apologizes if anyone felt that way. Number 3, next up we have Richard Branson's charges of tax evasion. In 1971, Branson was convicted and jailed for tax evasion as he had avoided paying purchase taxes by having fraudulently obtained export documents for the products he was selling on the domestic market. The customs officers found out that the documents were fraudulently obtained and then quickly executed a sting operation, marking records with invisible ink, and then, when they saw them on the domestic market, they caught Branson. Richard Branson was even tipped off about the sting and quickly tried to dispose of the evidence, but he was eventually caught. Number 4, more about Richard Branson's tax evasion. Branson's also harshly criticized for controversially being very vocal about how he weasels more money away from taxes and governments. Much of Richard Branson's business empire is owned in a complicated series of offshore trusts and companies that the British newspaper The Sunday Times estimated at about £3 billion. Branson has been criticized for his business strategy and has been accused of being a carpetbagger, someone who exploits other more vulnerable people and reaps all of the rewards without paying any of the repercussions. Richard Branson has responded and said that he's living on Necker Island for health reasons rather than these tax reasons that has been criticized for. Number 5, Richard Branson's more controversial moments all seem to revolve around taxes and money. Branson has stated that he's living on Necker Island for health more so than tax reasons, but at the same time, he has also described himself as a tax exile who has saved millions in taxes by no longer living in mainland Britain but instead living in the British Virgin Islands. The shadow chancellor of the Exchequer, the symbolic parliament member who's part of the oppositional Parliament Party, echoed previous criticisms of Richard Branson in 2016, while also claiming that his knighthood should be revoked. Number 6, the next one is less of controversy and more of a big failure for the billionaire. One of Richard Branson's first endeavors was when he dropped out of school at 16 and started a magazine called Student. Branson stated that there wasn't a national magazine run by students for students. I didn't like the way I was being taught at school, I didn't like what was going on in the world, and I wanted to put it right. He had hoped to create a national magazine brand, but these hopes ultimately failed with the magazine not running as he had hoped. To capitalize on his failure, though, he started a record mail-order business which he advertised in the magazine. It was the success of this business that caused Richard Branson to ditch the magazine and instead focus all out on his own record shop, which he would name Virgin. Number 7, in 1994, Richard Branson controversially created Virgin Cola. Virgin Cola is probably one of the more highly publicized failures of Virgin and Richard Branson. It was first launched exclusively in Virgin-branded planes and movie theaters, and at its most successful, it saw a 0.5% market share in the United States. The drink would keep being produced until 2012. Richard Branson didn't view this endeavor as a failure, though, instead viewing it as a fun thing that he was able to do in his life. When confronted with his failures, he said that, "I gotta drive a tank into Times Square and also to create a cheeky bottle in the shape of Pamela Anderson. That business taught me not to underestimate the power of the world's leading soft drink makers. I'll never again make the mistake of thinking that all large, dominant companies are sleepy." Number 8. Also launched in 1994, various Virgin drinks would all eventually fail. Not only did Richard Branson and Virgin try and fail with Virgin Cola, but there were also many other Virgin drinks that would stock their businesses. Virgin and Richard Branson made Virgin Vodka, Virgin Vines, Virgin Energy Shot, and Virgin Ooze, a precursor to something like White Claw today. These would all stop production in 2007, though. One success from his business attempt, though, would succeed. Virgin Wines was sold to Direct Wines in 2005 and is apparently still doing really well. Number 9, Richard Branson tried to make cosmetic products in 1997. This brand would be called Virgin Cosmetics and would sell everything traditionally tied to the stereotypical femininity. They'd sell beauty products, jewelry, and homeware. These products were sold in Virgin stores and online. This brand would do its best for as little over a decade when it sold in 2009 to Ross Simmons and Ratan Dhani in a management buyout. The products would be renamed V at Home, and soon this would run out of business in 2011. Number 10, attempting to capitalize on the success of other brands, Virgin Wear would launch in 2003. Like many of the other Richard Branson attempts to expand the Virgin business, Virgin Wear would launch in 2003 and try to become the next Victoria's Secret. The brand was initially successful and had high online sales, allowing 30 retail stores to open between 2003 and 2004. There would even be a store in Carnaby Street in London where many other high-profile brand stores are located. Very quickly, though, the brand would fail, and in just 2005, 2 years after the brand launch, it would collapse and Virgin Wear would rush to try and sell off over 35,000 pairs of Virgin bras and panties. Number 11, Richard Branson and Virgin have gone into some weird territory like selling wedding dresses. In 1996, Virgin Brides was launched and several locations popped up in England. To help promote the business, Richard Branson shaved his beard and wore a wedding dress. This business endeavor would only last for a little over a decade, though. The last Virgin Brides store in Manchester was closed in 2007. When discussing Virgin Brides, Richard Branson wrote that, "I think because there aren't many Virgin Brides, it never really took off. Or maybe it was the picture of me that put people off." Number 12, Richard Branson and Virgin even tried to match up with Apple. In 2004, in response to Apple's iPod and iTunes, Virgin launched the Virgin Pulse and Virgin Digital. Apple is continually developing their products so Virgin looked like a cheap copy, and as a result, the brand would fail in just about a year. Branson wrote that, "We founded the company in 2004 and then folded it a year later when it failed to make inroads against the major brands. The rise of Apple's iPods and iTunes meant that Virgin's device suddenly looked out of date before we had even launched it." Number 13, lastly, we have Virgin's attempt at social media before MySpace and Facebook. Launched in 2000, Richard Branson and Virgin published Virgin Student. It was not called a social networking site whenever it launched, but it had a lot of what would appear in later social media sites like profiles, friends, groups, and messaging. There were hundreds of thousands of members, but Richard Branson and Virgin, possibly because they had a lot of different business ventures across all kinds of industry, did not give the site as much attention as it needed, and in 2005 it was shut down after a wide variety of technical breakdowns. The site was also waning in popularity because of other social media appearing at the time. And that last controversy wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.